I'm looking at my computer screen too. I don't see the quarterback news. So look, I was like you, coach got me too. Jokes aside though, I kind of feel like the we'll have a quarterback by Sunday thing was just kind of like, hey, if we have it, we have it. If we don't, we don't. But at the same point, we still got some, a little bit of time. And y'all already know what's up. It's about to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
All right. Greetings, salutations. Happy Sunday. Look, I'm like y'all. I'm looking for a quarterback. I hadn't seen one, so we'll see, man. Hopefully, because they have been practicing later in the afternoons, trying to get acclimated and stuff. So hopefully, by the close of the show, we get some news. Because unlike Blazing Saddles, is that Blazing Saddles, or is that Robin Hood Men in Tights? No news is good news, not necessarily. What's up, Terry T? But so even without us knowing who the quarterback is, look, I don't know about you, that Danny Richardson video came out today, and so I was trying to see, was I wrong? I ain't gonna lie, y'all know me. I'm not above admitting when I'm wrong. If I ain't got something right, I'll say, hey, I wasn't right, and I'll keep it pushing. But in this case, I don't know. Um, so far, competition looks good, but we'll see, man. So, but before that, man, did y'all see the team? We got a new coach. Somebody came back to the home team. So congratulations, Coach Washington. Look, you just got to call her Coach Washington at this point. Coach Dominique Washington. Washington. Look, um, trying to slow down and say it a little slower so that way y'all can actually understand me when I'm saying it. So yeah, we're just gonna do this the wrong way because I didn't set up the right way. So do have it set up. Pull up for the FQ Favy Twitter page. But look, new assistant coach for the volleyball team. Welcome back. Y'all aren't familiar. She used to be one of our former coaches, players. Sorry. So now she's a player that has become another coach. So one of the things I've said in the past, FAMU hasn't been known for creating coaches. That's turned into a lie. I'm just saying we see Coach P with softball, kind of started there under Coach Wiggins comes in. Then she brought some of her former players back. We're seeing where even with Willie Simmons, Coach J Mo, like you start to see more and more. FAMU's becoming a cradle of coaching. Now, how far that's going to go, I don't know. We've yet to see any head coaches come out of FAMU, but you've got some high level assistants. Jaywan Sider with Penn State, definitely was somebody a lot of us considered like, hey, consider him for the head coach job, but it didn't come to happening. So, but congratulations, Dominique Washington. Other thing, look, if y'all have not seen these videos of the football players cutting up, Andrew Tischer's one is funny. The one with my man who's trying to sing Chris Brown, I don't know about that. But look, they got the whole Daniel Richardson video up there on Rattlers Plus, and I love every second of it. Like you over here watching it, get to see him talk a little bit, see him talk a little trash. Again, I use the fifth quarter for this one, so but good stuff. Good times, man. What's up, little baby? So yeah, again, no quarterback yet. Now look, the best ones. I'm sorry, these last 2 weeks, these three NFL Rattlers have showed out. You didn't see Marquise Bell's interception. That was nice. That was tight. Now this right here, Xavier Smith, I don't know if y'all see it. Read the caption. X gonna give it to you. Hilarity. Like I love it. And I love the fact that he's actually getting a real shot. He's getting a real look. And you're seeing a lot of what you saw at FAMU from Xavier Smith. Like one of the things we're always talking about is you can go anywhere from FAMU. This kind of stuff makes it true. Like, are the players getting drafted? Not necessarily. So a lot of that's nutrition and other things. But we're seeing that when some of our guys get up there, they're making the best of the opportunities and they make it look good. Look. So I ain't did it right today. So if I'm gonna start wrong, I'm in wrong. Look, I get called good trouble for a reason. Look, y'all see the who made the catch? Like I'm just saying. Look, y'all saw the Rams posted that on there. Then they posted him as a kick returner too. Like I'm just saying, Xavier Smith over there looking like a certified baller, and I love every second of it, man. Like that was nice. Like the kick return was solid too. Like he's actually making himself a player that is hard to do without. Like I'm just saying, like over under Brian Fulford was a picture taker of OBG sleeping at the rings. EA, I'm going under because I know Brian is trying to act right. But if we doing it for the petty, oh man, it's 1,000%. 1,000%. That was definitely Brian. It's just because I want to be petty. Like, and Brian knows. Like, we have a running gag. Brian knows the gag. If we didn't love you, we wouldn't mess with you so much. Because if we really didn't care, we wouldn't say anything. But because we care, and you family, oh, you catch the jokes all the time, man. And it's never malicious, ever. But look, I'm just telling y'all. Look, oh, here's the kick return. Look, I knew somebody had it, and I knew I had it right. Had to go to the Fangs Up Twitter page for that one. Look, I told y'all, I ain't doing nothing right today. We're gonna get in some big trouble. But look, if you missed it, look, it is on the Fangs Up page. You get to see Xavier Smith looking decent back there at kick return. Like looking real decent. And look, yeah, there. I'm about to say, where is he at? Get to see they kind of yank and pull, fight him off. Okay. That's when you play a little Boosie song like a man. So look, y'all, I'm just saying, these Rattlers and showed out. Try to get it back to where it's all full screen. So I can scroll up because when I say the Rattlers were showing out, look, because I didn't show Marquise Bell's. I'm a Cowboy fan. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got the Marquise Bell shirt. I ain't want y'all to be like I was just being biased. But now, Bell done showed out. Isaiah Land, he showed out too. Man, look. Oh, don't believe me? Just watch. Look, y'all see him come off the edge. Look, Isaiah Land. Look, I'm just telling y'all. I told y'all, these Rattlers was over here showing out. They kind of helps you look and see like how talented was that team with Isaiah Land, Marquise Bell, Xavier Smith. Like we can continue. Like that team, they didn't underachieve, but yeah, we could have had a better day. Jennings, hello. Look, I'm just saying, you get Terrell Jennings balling out. Like I'm just saying, FAMU may not be the cradle of the NFL, but who's got in the past 3 years what HBCU has more players that are doing more in the NFL right now? I'm just saying, and it could just because we have the best marketing team out there. Because I mean, I don't know if y'all seen Kittle's video, but like you actually have like really good content coming out, and you seeing the love between the family as well. I don't know if y'all saw this one. Nate Newton, Xavier Smith, Marquise Bell. Look, a little bit of extra family. Look at that. So I'm just saying, right there, I'm loving it. But now we're gonna jump into this Valley game, and we're gonna talk about this new booster club thing right fast. Like I ain't gonna bash it. I ain't gonna tell you not to join. Just gonna kind of give you a little some ideas, um, and maybe some ideas on how we can potentially do this better. Now, there's a bunch of events going out. If you're not following Second to None Fitness, they just dropped some news for some booster stuff coming out too. What's up, Gail? But the FAMU Valley game is the FAMU Valley game. Like the hardest part about the game is travel. Like you're gonna ride a bus for 8 to 10 hours, or you're gonna fly to Jackson and then ride a bus for an hour and some change. Otherwise, the game shouldn't really be that difficult. Like that's why there's no point to really give it a whole show. A lot of it is I want to find the nice way to say this and the right way to say it, but Valley's Valley. Like Mississippi Valley State is the proving ground for the SWAT. As far as like, if you can beat them, that's the basement level team. It's not because of whatever reason, but they're just not a good program traditionally. So when you start looking at the acquisition of talent that FAMU's brought in versus the acquisition of talent that they brought in, and you consider one of their best players is now on FAMU's roster, we should have trademarked this. I see Jackson State's already got a little something. I got FAMU by 40. Like, and I purposely say that because y'all know that used to really bother Willie when Jackson State fans would say Jackson State by 40. Yeah. Look, they got new turf. Look, you right. It should be better. Should be better for a 49-14 FAMU victory. I don't know if that's quite 40. I didn't do the math. But you know, is Valley and the Mosquitoes are good for 10 points. I'm sorry. If you ain't never been over there, don't come for me. Like, but if you've been over there, man, yes, Valley's home. And the Mosquitoes are like a whole touchdown. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even coming for them people. I've been over there. I went to sleep and sprayed off before I went to sleep. Like, take a shower, spray some off. All right, I'm going to sleep now. Like, I'm just saying, the Mosquitoes alone might get Valley a whole touchdown. Without the Skeeters, yeah, I got 49-7. But those Wall Skeeters they got, man, yeah, it might be a little cool. So that might be a saving grace. But man, those Mosquitoes are undefeated. I'm sorry. I thought Florida Mosquitoes were bad till I went to the Valley. Look, Valley and Bragg. Look, just saying. That's not a game that I would want to contend with. And look, it might. Let me double check what schedule. It is at Bragg. Look, I'm just. That's how bad I wrote that game off. Oh, give me that 7 back. 49-7. It's a home game. Appreciate it, cuz. I've been on the grill all day. Sorry. Look. Yep. Y'all ain't got no home field Mosquitoes. Yep. Give me that 7 points back. 49-7. And that's after FAMU plays PV. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. After that Southern game, this schedule's a cakewalk until you get to the Classic. Like literally, FAMU should be cakewalking into the Classic. Sorry. Look, I was waiting on the quarterback announcement for most of the day to see what came of that. Now, if y'all didn't see, we do got a new NAA group out there. Or not NAA, booster group, sorry. I say NAA. I'm looking at the NAA notification. They're having an executive board meeting Wednesday at 8 p.m. via Zoom. So I was checking that out. But you might or might not have seen, we got a new booster group out there. Oh, yes. Dang. Whoo. Breaking news. Norfolk starting quarterback suspended for 4 games. I mean, against that Dark Cloud defense, it wasn't going to matter. But sheesh. which y'all may or may not have seen. I believe Gerald, friend of the show, Gerald Thomas. Look, all the ads want to come up right now. It is new group led by Mr. Tommy Mitchell for the non-revenue producing sports. And it sounds good in theory. Not gonna lie to you. But for me, he's just splitting up the money again. Like, not a huge fan of it. I'm already on the camp. We got too many DSOs as is. Like, you have the F Club, you got 220 Club, you got the boosters, you got the NAA. Then the band has alumni association. Like, all of a sudden, you can easily, if you in certain circles, be looking at splitting yourself 5-6 different ways. Like, I know me personally, it's an easy 3, and 3 in a piece, because we need to show a little love to ONG Strike Zone. They do have a Cash App. Hit them up. I'm just saying, donations. We do this for love, but this ain't free. But you start looking around, you can be splitting yourself in so many ways. And we have the Fang Exchange now, which is our official NIL thing. Like, I feel like there's a better way to do this. Like, why split the boosters into a group that's the boosters in all sports and then create another boosters and non-revenue sports? It doesn't make sense. And it's not a surprise. It's something that's kind of been in the works for a while. Like, if you were in the booster meetings, it's one of those IYKYK type things. Like, if you know, this has kind of been an initiative. So it's not a shock. But the thing is, instead of just trying to get more people to join the boosters and allow that group to build its coffers so that it can put all that money back into all the sports, you now splinter that group into another subgroup that is just for non-revenue sports. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Just me personally. Like, you're almost clashing. Like, that's somewhat counterproductive. And I'm really trying to be like really fair about this, because it could be something that could be amazing. It could really benefit every sport except for football and basketball. But at the same point, why do that? I mean, I have my own opinions. I ain't gonna be too petty today, but at the same point, the better move is to consolidate. Like, again, you've heard cousin Kelvin say it before, and others. Fewer groups make it more powerful. Like, when we're looking at our counterparts, we're looking at those other schools having fewer groups that you, as look, there we go, are holding accountable, is really the right way to do this. Because the teams we're going against, you don't see this much splintering, and they are building facilities we want. Like, I just mentioned Valley. Their former athletic director, you see the things that they did literally on his way out the door. He's like, oh yeah, I'm out. I'm leaving today. But we doing all these new things. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I'll say it out loud. If I'm him, I'll put in for that FAMU job again, because everything they said that lady couldn't do at FAMU, you did that Valley. Hell, if you could do that at Valley, what could you do at FAM? Now, I still think Suggs gets his job. I think it's her job to lose. If she wants the job, she's gonna get the job. But I ain't gonna lie, that dude is like assistant at Jackson State now. You can move to Florida, no state income tax. I ain't gonna make no cracks on Jackson. I haven't been in Jackson a long enough time. I do know their infrastructure issues. So I'm not gonna be that person that punches low. I'm gonna aim high. So you have a ravenous fan base who literally is just waiting on direction. Like, you have a fan base at FAMU who's literally like, tell us what you want, tell us what you need. Okay, we'll do our best to get it. Like, I don't know if y'all seen the 220 clubs where Coach Cozy, 2 meetings ago, we need the grass cut. Oh, okay. Who got a lawnmower? Like, and those dudes were serious. Like, coach was complaining about something. How much is it? And coach kept going. And the man goes, Coach, how much is it? Like, and you're like, oh, I'll go meet with you after. Thank you. Like, that's kind of the alumni you have at FAMU. We're not big ball and rich like that, but at the same point, everybody ain't broke. And we got enough to where we can support these different groups. But if we put it together, we can do more. Like, and look, what's up, Mike Road Dog? Look, y'all know it's the GOAT right here. Just look it out. That's Mike. Unless you expand the net of potential members and offer sexier stuff to appeal to different demographics of Rattlers, you're essentially going after the same 100 of people. Bingo. That's the problem. And I think that's part of what makes the Fang Exchange cool. Like, you had the NIL stuff, but you also got merch. Like, the boosters have merch, don't get me wrong, but it's not advertised as often. Like, you don't have that new way of thinking where Fang Exchange, like, hey, this is the Fang Exchange. These are hats. These are shirts. They're on the website. They're supposed to have them up today, tomorrow. I think by tomorrow. So you can go to the Fang Exchange website. You can buy the merch, and I'd have to double check, but a certain percent of that merch goes back to the NIL stuff. See how all of a sudden that kind of works out? The boosters have something similar, but they need those youthful ideas instead of splintering. Like, because as Mike's pointing out, unless you're getting and offering better and you're just saying, well, just give money to this and we're supporting that, that's the same stuff everybody else offers. Like, at least with the Family Foundation, they're saying, hey, we're going to have the foundation awards. We're going to have a party. We're going to do this. Okay, cool. Like, I'm just saying. And to Mike's point, are we offering sexier options? Like, don't get me wrong. Atlanta's looking real sexy right now. Like, I have no intention of going. But at the same point, I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, they got a party. They got a party. They just chilling. Dang. Like, you set a vibe. You made that thing alumni, different groups. You made it interesting. You made it something that people want to go to. Like, the boosters and NAA have a Friday night event the night before the games, supported by Mayo last year. Do we have any news on that this year? Because that could be a whole vibe. Like, that could be a vibe where NAA and booster members get a discount for attending. If you're an NAA booster member, it's $20 or $10. If you're not a member, it's $20. All of a sudden, if you're not a member, you look at it, you're like, hey, if I'm going to 4 of these, that's $100. I might as well become a booster member. Like, you kind of see it. Like, make it, as Mike said, make it sexy. And not just grown and sexy, but make it something to where you want to go to, like, you want to be at. Like, I was at the golf tournament yesterday, and I had a ball hanging out with the brothers. Like, those my frat brothers, my line brothers. We laughed, we joked, we had fun. I ended up working most of the time. But at the same point, even if I wasn't working, it was fun to hang out with your homeboys. You get your drinks on, some guys smoke, hang out, fun times. Like, that's really what you have to do with these DSOs to start making them less of just give us your money and we're going to funnel your money here. That's pointless. Honestly, that's what your online giving is for. Like, your online giving platforms through the Rattler Athletic Fund, that's the same thing. Why would I give my money to a third-party organization to support non-revenue producing sports when we have the Rattler Athletic Fund. Make it make sense. Are you giving me some type of benefits? Are you giving me some type of swag? Or are you just supporting those organizations? Like, eh, I'm just saying, you could, because part of the benefit of boosters is, okay, you get the tag, you get some of the other stuff. We need more stuff, but that's how you make it sexy. Like, make it something to where now, hey, you got the kickoff luncheon. Oh, cool. This is really nice. Cool. Get to meet the players, stuff like that. Like, but then even with that, with the boosters and with the NAA, this is how we turn the corner. Marry that with the Fang Exchange. Like, instead of, okay, we do this to support the student athletes, you all should join or do an NIL here. You know what? Go to the Fang Exchange. Just cut out all the thinking and make it easy. Hey, NAA, you support the students and academics. The university. Boosters, you support athletics. Fang Exchange, you're the NIL. Point everybody to the Fang Exchange. That's one thing Tiffany Dawn Sykes started doing right before she left. And we're not going to give her a lot of credit for a lot of stuff. I know how some of y'all are. She started pushing the Fang Exchange. I mean, until she, Anyways, look, and oh man, yeah, it's too many Chiefs. A lot of strong personalities in Tallahassee. I agree. I definitely agree with that. But at the same point, you're not going to win Little Bighorn if you don't organize. Like, I'm just saying. So, but that to me is the most sensible thing, because you're putting the cart before the horse. If you think I'm going to go split and then put it towards another group when I know better, like, I just, yeah. Why doesn't he use his influence to push membership or support for the boosters or the Fang Exchange? Great question. And I'll say this, he has at times. Excuse me. But for now, I don't know what the deal is. Well, okay, I do. But part of it. I don't know all of it. Somebody else would have to say that. But because y'all know I don't be besmirching people's names. I don't speak ill of folks, and if I don't know all the tea, I don't say it. So I know just enough from sitting in the booster meetings. How about that? But that's what you do. Use your influence on your friends. Use your influence on people to get them to join. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I became a member of the National Alumni Association because of Chuck Lewis. Like, so as y'all know, I'm a Kappa. I'm a member Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So expressed interest in organization, yada yada yada. And Chuck was like, "You remember NAA?" And I was like, "Nope." At the time, stuff happened, and Chuck was like, "You should definitely reconsider that." And I was like, "All right." And it wasn't even a forceful thing, but it was just hey man, you should really consider renewing your National Alumni Association membership. Before you get these letters, you had those letters. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I wear FAMU every day. And it was very true. Like, and to this day, I just told y'all, look, membership just lapsed. I ain't getting bugged because Chuck knows by September, my brother's gonna be back financial with the National Alumni and the boosters. But it's because, hey, I don't, it's Orlando. I don't really know everybody. Da da da. What's up, band talk? I'm ignoring them curse words. Honestly, I think that's going to be the best game of FAMU season at the end of the year. Those last 3-4 games, Florida Classic is going to be the best. But that's what you do. Use your influence to encourage people to join the group, but not just join the group. get active, because all of a sudden you start bringing in new ideas, you start bringing in new blood. That's the way you give life to the group. Like, you give life to these groups by getting younger people in, getting them involved, and giving them power. And I just think, kind of looking at this, when you're looking at a new DSO just for non-revenue producing sports, why do that when you can just say join the boosters or do the right athletic fund, earmark your money for this team? Just say it. Um, I'll say it. We're back to a strong personality. Hey, you're not wrong, Gail, because I know me. It depends on what it is. If I'm right, I'm a jerk. If I'm not, I'd be like, okay, whatever, I don't care. In this case, I think we could do a little bit better with our resources than to kind of be splitting them up like that. So, but we'll see, y'all. Look, this time next week, we're gonna be talking about the Celebration Bowl. Like, I don't know if you're as excited as I am. And yes, I said the Celebration Bowl because all roads to the Celebration Bowl start and end in Atlanta for the Rattlers. And it's the MEAC SWAC Challenge. It's going to be hot. Hydrate. Go to some of the events. They're having parties. ONG. I don't know if you heard. Y'all know. Again, I just told y'all, hey, we don't separate. We don't splinter. Y'all know this. We talk the same talk a lot of times. Even when we like moderately disagree, it's similar talk. We don't do different shows because we don't agree. We do different shows because, honestly, I started this before I found out about the ONG strike zone. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey, can I join y'all? So, like, yeah, here's the formula for run it back 5-0 at home, win 2 out of 3 stretch in October. 3-0 against the West teams. Okay. I think FAMU should have a perfect record if we're looking at the home games. Home game Atlanta, North Tallahassee, as Brian's calling it. I think that's a W, especially if you tell me they got those quarterback problems. At this point, you can give me Junior or Richardson, and I'm comfortable for Norfolk State. South Carolina State, same. UM, no. Troy, it depends. Honestly, I think FAMU can beat Troy. Now, that doesn't mean I think they will beat Troy. I don't know if we will beat Troy. But can FAMU beat Troy? Yes. Can that be your ESPN gay on the end of the night show where they're talking about the Celebration Bowl champion, defending Celebration Bowl, defending SWAC champions, winning? Absolutely. Alabama A&M, I think that's a dub in the crib. Alabama State, I think it's a dub, and I don't think it's as close as people think it's going to be. Jackson State, I think that's going to be a dub, but that's going to be a tight one, especially if they bring the crowd. Notice I didn't say if we travel, because I know some of y'all already said. Some of y'all got your hotel books. Some of y'all got that stuff going on. What's up, Band Talk? Look, country cousins, you know, we're a little different in Tallahassee. Southern, that's gonna be fun. Are they bringing the band this year? They didn't bring the band last time, so I'm just saying, Southern's different when they bring the band though. That's a different vibe when they bring the band. Those two bands, that's gonna be a problem. Texas Southern, cakewalk. Homecoming. Look, I'm telling you right now, for homecoming, bring your extra outfit and bring it to the car. I'm just saying, halftime, you should not be there. You should be on Paris Street. You should be getting your fish fried extra hard. I know how y'all African Americans like your fish. Get your chicken. If you from Tallahassee like me, you might get a mullet. Like, I'm just saying. PV, I ain't concerned with PV. Just because I think with PV, the thing that they have over a lot of these other teams that we play this year is just coaching. And then the only teams I really think that have any type of coaching, I don't want to say advantage, but it's just an advantage due to longevity is PV. But quarterback play has got to be a question. And then when you start to look at the sample size we've seen, FAMU versus PV, it's not there. And it's not there on the line of scrimmage, surprisingly. Like, to me, that was the most like eye-opening part about playing both Prairie View and Texas Southern, because granted, they're not UT. They're not Texas A&M. Heck, they're not UTSA. But it was the size. Like, the way that FAMU was able to dominate both lines of scrimmage, yeah, that game's not even a conversation. Somebody lied to you. I love it, man talk, but somebody lied to you. Now, that's going to be a close game, though. We're going to talk about that on Thursday. That's going to be the closest game to me for that second half of the season. Cookman's got some dudes. Like, they don't have a line of scrimmage yet. They're working on it. But yeah. I think, look, EA, not to break the glass, but yep. Absolutely. I think FAMU goes undefeated in the SWAC. Largely just because coaching experience. And so, look, I've already ruined the Florida Classic. But I think coaching experience. I also think, and not that Colsey has all this coaching experience, but so much that he's so familiar with the players on the roster. Like, it's one thing to have a coach who's just coming in new. I don't know the players. I don't know what they can do. And this is part of the reason your supporters were fighting so hard for FAMU to keep Colsey, was familiarity with the talent. That's why it was like, give me Smitty Rock or give me Colsey, because I want somebody that's familiar with this. Like, that was me. Because if you gave me somebody brand new, yeah, the new ideas were going to be cool, but how many players are leaving? How many are running off? How many are staying? Issue. But I think FAMU finished the season perfect. And look, Kev, you said it right. The Dark Cloud is not a JUCO defense. 38-10 Florida Classic and Celebration Bowl might be the hardest game next to Jackson State. Yep. I'm just saying, that Dark Cloud defense, they're like that. FAMU's defense this year, you lost your best defensive end, and the defense still looks decent. Like, I mean, you lost the end, and you just start thinking about the talent FAMU's had at defensive end last couple years. Just showed a video, Isaiah Land, then Anthony Dunn. Like, we've had some dudes that have been difference makers on that line. Very hard to replace dudes. But they say that, look, what the coaches are saying, listen to them talk about that defensive line. It's still scary. I think FAMU's defensive line and offensive line especially are what sets them apart, or us apart, I should say. FAMU's offensive line is built like a team from the MEAC. And we've consistently seen teams from the Southwestern Athletic Conference struggle in the trenches against MEAC teams. It's not X's and O's. It's that the MEAC teams are just more physical. And that's something that you wouldn't think of from a Florida team, because Florida is not known for producing great offensive linemen. Florida is known for producing speed. But you start looking, and one is just FAMU's location. FAMU, Tallahassee is in Florida, but it's closer. Tallahassee's closer to Georgia than it is any major city in Florida. I mean, from my parents' house to Thomasville is 30 minutes. To Jacksonville is 2 hours. So literally, you start drawing a good 3.5 hour circle around Tallahassee. You're hitting Orlando, Jacksonville, South Alabama. I believe you could actually touch Louisiana and Mississippi. Like, Alabama, maybe Mississippi. So you start looking at that 3-hour recruiting range. FAMU's got some ability to recruit players that fit that known problem spot that all SWAC teams have, while also being able to embrace that strength that SWAC teams have, which is speed. SWAC teams are known for being fast. But you start mixing that speed with the physicality, especially that we get from places like South Georgia, Alabama, the junior colleges. That's why FAMU's dominating these teams, and that's why I think they will. Like, I'm just saying. Did we name a quarterback? Not that I see. Let's see. Kelvin says Kamari Stevens too. Geno and Say would have been on D line this year too. Look, I'm just saying. FAMU's has had potentially 5 NFL players in the past 5-6 years. I mean, we started looking at this year's roster. I highly suspect Kendall will be on an NFL team. Drafted or not, I don't know. I think if there is someone to get drafted, I think he's the one, just because height, speed, all those measurables. I think he hits a lot of those for you. But outside of that, look, this team's got some talent, and I think you can ride the talent on this roster to beat most of the teams that you go against, which it kind of sucks to say, and it somewhat diminishes what you want to say about your head football coach. But at the same point, if I'm being honest, I think your talent allows you to do that. And now this is where Dr. Beard excites me. Not the fearful part about seeing how Ron DeSantis has done stuff, but and look, EA, they are predicting Gentle to start. Yeah, he was going to start most places. If his problem was never ability, it was availability. It was just health. That was his thing. Now, again, when you're Dr. Beard, who's saying he's wanting to commit to athletics with more money, that excites me, especially when I started looking over and FAMU's got an NIL program. How many other HBCUs have a dedicated NIL program? I'll wait. I can only name maybe 2. I believe A&T, and I'm pretty sure Jackson State does. Other than that, I can't really think of any schools that have NIL programs. So what we talking about? Look, and Mike says the MEAC gets to play a lot of schools that don't look like us and have to adapt to a different style of play to keep up with all the Brads and Bubbles. They play more than half their season. You're not wrong. Kev says nothing like having a few FBS non-HBCU guys that were starters on their schools transfer to. And we got 2s that we should start. So sorry. Yeah. So Will says the backups could start a lot of schools. He's not wrong. Look at Arkansas Pine Bluff. They took a receiver who we projected to be a big time receiver by his sophomore, junior year. Really gets no PT, but was a good player. Wasn't buried on the depth chart because he wasn't good. Was buried on the depth chart partially because he had seniors in front of him, and the other part because those guys were pretty good too. That dude's probably going to start for Pine Bluff this year. So it's a lie until it's validated and verified with the truth. And Kev says, among HBCUs, we're doing good on the NIL front. Think we get that field house now? I'll say it like this. I know they changed the law where Dr. Beard can only be there for a year. I don't know how good or bad that is. Again, I'm on the fence with Dr. Beard. And it's not because of him, but it's because of the governor. We've seen what he did at New College. We saw what happened at UF. That's why. Otherwise, I'm cool. If Dr. Beard is there and allowed to do what's best for FAMU and without that person trying to be in his ear to influence stuff, if you were to be there for 4 years, I think you would have everything on that strategic plan. Um, and that's again, that's a hope and a belief because just seeing the shakeups he's making and listening to what he's saying. But if Dr. Beard were to get 4 to 5 years, athletically, you would have the indoor practice fields. I feel like you would have the new stadium coming. I feel like Bragg would be like everything on that strategic plan would be done in 4 to 5 years. I just feel that way. And that could be an irrational hope. Y'all know me. When I spot a weakness in myself, I'll tell you. But when you're hearing that in his first couple of days, standing next to the person he fired, or next to the person that's not the athletic director anymore, we're gonna put more money in athletics because I walked the field house and okay. Look, P3, I don't know how much is that on Dr. Beard. I'm with you though. I what would the South Side look like with it? I'm just saying. I mean, you are you are on an area and in an area where you're somewhat landlocked, but you could also be in a spot where land could be opening. Because if you haven't noticed, a lot of the mail is not coming out of Tallahassee like it used to. Like they take it goes to Jacksonville. I'm wondering about that main post office south of FAMU. What they doing with that? Are they planning on keeping that? I'm asking that question. Not that I have inside information. That's just kind of paying attention. Part of what FAMU needs is land acquisition. If you look at where the stadium is supposed to be, that would be a very nice piece of land to have and potentially build a P3 at, where you can put hotels, activities, other things right there because you're not far from college apartments down the streets. So you would have people coming in on both sides. Just a thought. Then you wouldn't be far from the stadium. I'm just saying, like, and look, time to quit putting all the emphasis on football and upgrading. Just brag and start to devise a way to incorporate to all sports programs. I agree, Mike. Only reason I say brag is one, it's on the plan, but also if done right, you know this, you could make money off of the luxury boxes. I think that's where we're kind of missing the mark because part of the problem with Bragg is there are no real luxury boxes. Like you got the north end zone, but really the north end zone is there in spite of like the MEAC swag challenge. If you were catching AD Drew, the entire luxury box area sold out. Like you literally got people like Mike just looking out, trying to help you out, trying to give you opportunity to live the sweet life. And he's running out of ticket spots. So what would you be able to offer at your own stadium with an expanded venue that could then, this is your cash cow, allow you to roll that back in, improve facilities. Heck, charge for baseball games. Get a proper baseball field so that I've been to FAMU baseball games. They're not raking the field mid-game. Like, have baseball facilities that are actually college level, not middle high school level. Like, so just say, well, can we go back to Tally government and ask them for money after President Robinson called and told I'm rich? I mean, you could ask them. And I've said this once. This is the right mayor to do it under. You better do it on a daily because you don't know what the next mayor is going to be like. And you're starting to see the landscape change politically as far as city representatives, as far as what political party they support and their willingness to support things. Because you did see, as much as that school across the street asked for, they did get told no. Like they asked for money too. So just one of those things. You kind of go over there and mention this is how much we bring in for homecoming. I think that's where you start. Like if we're gonna have this conversation, EA, with the city of Tallahassee, my first word is homecoming. Like that's the first word, the first conversation. Hotels, we sell out hotels. Like, and I literally, if I'm the athletic director, I have someone pull up both the homecoming for FSU and the homecoming for FAMU. That's where I start. I then go and I show the state championships and show how much revenue was brought there. And I would literally show, hey, our average home game, this is what we bring in. But you start showing them data, measurable data, to say, FAMU brings in this much money to the city of Tallahassee. You give us this, you'll get this back. So where will the money come from to make improvements to facilities? If you're Dr. Beard, you go find it. I think some of that is going back and reaching back to your supporters, but some of that's got to be going back and get those corporate sponsors. Like we lost corporate sponsors under this last athletic director administration. I mean, I could say it softly, or I could just say it. Like, you won't see Kraft Nissan up there this season, more than likely. There's a couple companies you won't see up there. Like, you got to go find people that can go back and get that. Like, we have opportunities now that the NFL. Look at that. What's up, big sis? Sister, my mom watching. But you have the opportunity to advertise on the field now. Like that NCAA just opened it up where you can advertise on the field. We can't get Triangle Sales, Pepsi, any one of these companies because FAMU is a SWAC school. The SWAC is a Pepsi conference. But Tallahassee, Coca-Cola City. That's not leverage. Like, we're in the South. We're known for being the Coca-Cola area. You can't get some type of Pepsi sponsors on the field for a nominal fee. Like, now is the time to get your explorators to explore your ideas. Like, they didn't get told no because they had because they had a picture of what they wanted to do and a plan for paying it back. All we asked for was 15 to replace the through and fix the lights. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it didn't have a plan, but I'm saying if you're coming back, you need a plan. That's just my sentiment. I mean, I feel like they got told no because it didn't make business sense. Like, part of the problem with FSU, their attendance has been going down. Like, can we not act like that's not a thing? There's a reason they reduced the capacity of the stadium. It's not because it's full. It's because unless it was Miami or UF, there was not 80,000 seats in there. I mean, people in there. You had 80,000 seats, 65,000 people. Nah, buddy. Like, that ain't it. And look, here we go. Naming rights and Athletic P3. It's how we fund all athletic facilities. 2 Amazon locations here. Thank you. Like, it's there. I mean, they got Amazons in the ghetto. And I'm not being facetious. You come down here to Orlando, you know where one of the Amazon facilities are? OBT, about a block from the Citrus Bowl. There's no way and I love that. And again, y'all gonna see me reference ONG every once in a while because I give credit where credit's due. Because I've said this, they said this, we're underutilizing some of our programs. We all know that a big part of what Amazon does is logistics and machining, and they have to get things to places faster. Florida agricultural and mechanical. You can't tell me that we can't start kind of looking and being like, hey, Amazon, what are some technologies that you want to improve? Okay, would you be willing to fund our university to find ways to improve your mechanics or what some of your technology? We share an engineering school. You just go ahead and say you share it. Like, do what you got to do to get the money. Like, oh, don't y'all also own Whole Foods? Let's see if what we can do to help you get your food to your customers in a better type of way with our College of Agriculture. Like, all of a sudden, you propose to these companies what they want to hear based on what you have. Like, it's got to be part of the game. Like, let's have a field day there. I'm just saying. Yeah, I caught what you said. I've never seen it. They got all that gated, kind of gated, so you can see it there. But oh goodness, look, there's nothing like going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, going towards OVT. I'm gonna leave it there. You see some things, but just saying, like, we have to utilize what we have to be able to fuel what we need. Like, we've already said it, but you have an agriculture program. We've stated nutrition is the issue. You got UF in Gainesville. They literally make how much money because their partnership with, I believe it was Pepsi, because of Gatorade. We can't find, like, all right, Gatorade's taken. What kind of food can we do? What can we do to help our student athletes? And start floating projects and things to make that happen, because that's kind of how you're going to win. Naming rights, like innovation, creation stuff, using what your university is and what they want to take from your university to get ahead. Like, we know the PhD programs at FAMU are targets. We got to fight to keep them, but we also got to make sure that we make them the best that they can be. And even from the athletic perspective, see if they can help out with athletics to make things cheaper. Just saying, like, it's just an idea, just a thought before we get too deep in the weeds. All right, y'all. Thursday, we're going to talk about that first football game. I ain't gonna lie. Get y'all ready. See if, we got a quarterback by then. Coley said we was going to have a quarterback. I bet you get one 11 o'clock news. Watch. I'm just saying that to be petty. But then we're going to talk about the Florida Classic, kind of get y'all ready, and tell y'all why this ain't your last year's Cookman team. They're better than you think, and they probably got a few more weapons than you thought of. So, all right. For Herb Stewart, the Black East Told, look, man, catch y'all Thursday, 8 o'clock here. And don't forget, 9 o'clock. Double check. But we've been getting Fang Exchange episodes right after the Fangs Up podcast. I told y'all, we work together. We're a FAMU league, so we're not divided. Because we're always going to be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey